We were sailing in 2019. After an entire year walking all over Sinaloa, knocking on doors, talking to people, and trying to convince them of something that seemed pretty simple, that we didn't need to belong to any damn political party to do politics. But we lost. And not just to anyone. We lost to one of the oldest, most corrupt, and most damn cunning politicians this country has ever produced. And the craziest part of all is that almost nobody voted for the others. In 2018, Morena wasn't just a political party for many people. It was a religion. And its patron saint had a name, El Page, the savior of Mexico. The man who, according to his followers, was going to fix everything politicians had screwed up for decades. What a beautiful story. Too bad, the ending turned out pretty damn ugly. And while Mexico closed its eyes and surrendered to that new political religion, we went sailing. Because we were never looking for a position. Not an office. Not a paycheck. Not a damn government seat. We were independent, and we wanted to stay free. And maybe that's where the real irony was. It's 2018. We're in Mazatlan, the second largest city in Sinaloa and one of the most important ports in the state. A city known for its parties, its carnival atmosphere, its tourism. But also a city that was beginning to feel the effects of something that would become even more evident in the years to come. Extortion, disappearances, murders, and the growing influence of a narco state. We were out there campaigning. And honestly, things seemed to be going pretty well, with one little detail. Well, not so little. People kept telling us, Clouthier, go join Morena, just like your sister. And back then, nobody imagined that Morena would eventually become a kind of kryptonite for Mazatlan, for its economy, its tourism, and above all, its own security. That year, Lopez Obrador's political wave was growing stronger. He had been chasing the presidency for years, and in 2018, millions of people decided to give him their vote of confidence. Today, many consider it one of the biggest political regrets this port city has ever made. We lost an election, but we didn't lose our independence. On the contrary, it became even clearer why we had chosen not to belong to any party in the first place. So there we were, sailing through the beautiful paradises of Baja California, waiting to see what storm would come our way. And while others were fighting over colors, acronyms, jobs, and positions, we were fighting against the wind. Much more honest, by the way. Because the sea doesn't promise you anything. It doesn't ask for ID. It doesn't ask who you voted for. It doesn't care if you're left, right? Morena, PAN, PRI, or any other bullshit like that. The sea just is. And if you want to get in, you better know how to swim. That's where we met other independents. People who, like us, had decided to throw away the idea that to participate in politics, you have to kneel in front of a party. No bosses, no colors, no slogans. And as we walked through the streets, talked to people, and listened to what they really thought, we already knew the election wasn't going to be easy. The wave was just beginning. And perhaps we were among the few who could already see what was coming for Mexico. Because Mazatlan had never fallen so far economically as it would in the years that followed. People were with Morena. And at that point, that's why Clouthier focused on talking to them about something that might sound boring, but was absolutely fundamental: checks and balances. And he didn't just mention the concept. He took the time to explain to each person what checks and balances actually meant. But many people didn't listen. Let's give Morena every single vote, so they won't have any excuses afterward. So they can't say this country has no hope. Well, it did have a remedy. The problem was that the remedy turned out to be deadly. Over the years, many people became dependent on government handouts, benefits, and financial assistance. And it wasn't just that. Some people defend the government even when they can clearly see that things are going wrong. Why? Because they receive money. Money that often isn't even enough to live on, but is enough to buy loyalty. And meanwhile, we keep swimming in the same shit. Only now, there's even more shit. Then came a second chance, and they voted for Morena again. This time for the so-called mummy of Guanajuato, Claudia Sheinbaum. So, what's left for us? Keep traveling, keep documenting, keep talking to people, and keep trying to break that kryptonite that keeps trapping precisely those who are struggling the most. Because many times, they're the very same people who end up defending, tooth and nail, a system that keeps them surviving on a few cents. Cents that may not change their lives, but make them feel grateful.
I'm waiting in my cold cell when the bell begins to chime, reflecting.
And as long as we keep confusing a handout with progress,
And it doesn't have much time, 'cause at 5 o'clock
we're going to keep going around in circles.
to the gallows pole. The sands of time for me are running low.
I'm Camel Filmmaker. And I make documentaries.